ఇదేనా?
In the YouTube channel, it is going like it's being recorded live, right?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
Started, right. Yes. Good afternoon, all of you. And I feel it privileged to invite all of you, particularly our today's speaker, Madam Dr. Nandita Sethi, founder and managing director, the Entrepreneur Zone Secunderabad, who is going to deliver her talk on the journey of entrepreneur on the occasion of World Entrepreneurs Day. Today happens to be Entrepreneurs Day today. And Madam, this is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University, India's first open university in the country.
Yes.
Offering wide variety of programs, including MBA, MCOM, BCom, PGDP, and research programs, particularly at the Faculty of Commerce and Business Management. We have two departments under the faculty. One is Commerce and another one is Department of Business Management.
Okay.
So we have more than 10 programs altogether at the Faculty of Commerce and Business Management. And very recently, we have started our council as per the AICTE norms, established IIC, Institutions Innovation Council, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University. And under the umbrella of this IIC BRAOU, we have been offering these online lectures to give information about all the happenings, particularly for the students of commerce and management. And so far we have conducted 4 programs, and this is being 5th program in the series. And today's topic is, you are all aware, on the journey of an entrepreneur, because the title is given by the today's speaker, and in connection with the today's occasion, that is World Entrepreneurs Day. So, my dear students and faculty members from across the study centers in the state of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, and we have 179 study centers across these 2 states, madam. And 101.5 lakh students get enrolled every year, 1.5 lakh.
Okay.
And about BCom students, 25,000. MCom, MBA, around 500-600 per annum. Diplomas, another 200-300. Together, our students is all about 25,000-30,000, only with reference to commerce faculty. And I welcome all the IIC members. Before we start, I must thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University, the registrar of this university, and other officials, those helping us in our operations and particularly administrative support. And I also thank and welcome my colleagues, Professor Y.S. Kiranmai, Head Department of Business Management, Dr. Rabindranath Salman, Head Department of Commerce, and he is also the coordinator of this today's program, because we identify coordinators to conduct each event like this. And other colleagues, Dr. Radhakrishna is also with us, is Assistant Professor of Department of Commerce Business Management. And Dr. Srinivas is also with us. He is a faculty member in the Department of Commerce. And my dear participants, I welcome all of you once again on the occasion of World Entrepreneurs Day, and particularly to this talk. We know the importance of the day, and also we also experiencing the day by day that the growth and development of entrepreneurship. If you look at the contribution of entrepreneurs is almost 45% to the GDP of our nation. Our country's GDP being contributed by entrepreneurship, that is about 50-60%. Alone small startups contributing 5 to 6%, and it is growing now. So if you look at the MSME, it is alone contributing 30%, and street vendors, including startups and the small businesses, all put together contributing 50 to 60% GDP to the Indian economy. And in the future, I'm sure that the entrepreneurship will grow more, and the entrepreneurship development programs, which are being conducted by several organizations, including Government of India, Ministry of Rural Development, and industries, commerce and industry, and several business schools and organizations, including national level bodies on business, CII kind of units, are also functioning and working on this issue to promote and expand the horizons of entrepreneurship development. So friends, we all of us know that the entrepreneurship as a subject is not only important for the students and the teachers of the commerce and management stream, but also years to come or days to come, definitely, irrespective of their domain, whether they are from arts, humanities, science, definitely they have to undergo business entrepreneurship as, a core subject, or at least specialization elective paper in their studies tomorrow, because this is not the domain of alone business, but also for everyone, and everybody has to do it. And because of this entrepreneurship, how this entrepreneurship development taking, not only focusing on creation of jobs, but also it is the many organizations are focusing as innovation hub. There are many incubation centers which are encouraging and promoting entrepreneurship business, leading to rural development, women empowerment, and so on. There are many facets of developmental opportunities through entrepreneurship development. So in this backdrop, I would like to highlight the importance of the entrepreneur journey of entrepreneur through our speaker. And we all of us know the entrepreneurship is not that easy. We all of us know it is entrepreneurship is creating an idea into reality. Entrepreneurship is all about creating an idea into reality. So it includes several issues, right from idea generation to risk taking and growth to the GDP. So how this all taking place across the globe, and also with special reference to our country, Madam will highlight. And I request Madam, today's speaker, to highlight how the entrepreneurship development is taking place in other countries, at least a few examples, so that we can relate our where we are standing, and what is our future journey to see in the future. And with these few opening remarks of mine, I would like to request all of you once again, and I'm very happy to see you, Madam, because in spite of your busy schedule, you accepted our invitation with short notice. And you are with us today. And thank you very much for being with us today. And now I request my colleague, Dr. Ravindranath Solomon, Head Department of Commerce, and the program coordinator, today's program coordinator, to introduce the speaker to the audience. Dr. Ravindranath Solomon. Over to Ravindranath Solomon.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Power. I deem it an honor and privilege to be introducing the Chief Resource Person of today's program, Dr. Nandita Sethi. Dr. Nandita Sethi is the founder and managing director of the Entrepreneur Zone, TEZ, which is an entrepreneurship development center and startup accelerator, providing mentorship and consultancy to startups, institutions, and incubators. A doctorate in economics, and having worked in top-notch B schools, she has trained many mid and top-level management in global markets, business environment, corporate reforms, marketing trends, strategy and leadership, entrepreneurship, and intrapreneurship. She has authored 3 books: The Asia-Pacific Region, Emerging Opportunities, Global Meltdown, Regional Impacts, and rethinking India's growth strategy, services versus manufacturing. Since 2015, Madam is mentoring budding entrepreneurs through her organization, the Entrepreneur Zone, and is also associated with many incubator and institutions. She has been awarded TIE Best Mentor 2016-17, Indiewood Business Excellence Award 2019, the COWE Excellence Award 2021, and 50 Top Women Achievers Award by T-Hub in 2022. She is the past chairperson of CII, Indian Women Network 2019-20, and presently board member of TIE, the Entrepreneur TIE Hyderabad. Today, her mission is to integrate entrepreneurship training deeply into the existing educational system. So, dear students, I believe and I sincerely think that she is the most resourceful person for the topic identified for today, that is the journey of an entrepreneur. And I hope that this talk of us is going to be very enlightening for each one of us. And at the end of the talk, each one of us will have something to take back home to. I now hand over the proceedings to Professor Pawar for further details. Professor Pawar.
Sir, you're on mute, sir.
Yeah. Is it okay now?
Yeah, now
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Ravindra Solomon, for the introduction. Now, madam, we have 90 minutes talk, and after 3:15, there will be interaction session from the participants. So exactly 90 minutes for you. Now I request the today's speaker, Madam Nandita Sethi, to
thank you,
start
sir.
her talk. Madam.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So let me first at the outset thank the VC of B.R. Ambedkar Open University, thank Professor Pawar, Dean, faculty, also thank Professor Rani Rajita, whom I can see. She's a old known friend of mine, and thank you so much for having me here. And also a warm welcome to all the students who are joining us from across, I think, to, let us say, celebrate the Entrepreneurs Day and also to learn something from the life of an entrepreneur. Yeah. So I will probably start off with a context and then I'll share my presentation. I'm sure this is Open University, so you have people of different age groups. Am I right? Yes. So, yeah. So I'm sure most of us who are a little senior as compared to the younger generation will remember and recollect that, since independence to now, if you look at it, at least I'm sure my age group people will remember when we were growing up, all of us, we used to hear one thing, which used to ring in our ears all the time. Like at home, our parents used to tell us, if you don't study well, you will not get a job. Am I right? Yes? Maybe you can, if chat is allowed, you can put in a yes or a thumbs up. So most of us grew up listening to this sentence, if you don't study well, you will not get a job. Then when we went to school and we went to college, our teachers also told us that, and we told our students also that for many years, that if you don't study well, you will not get a job. So if you look at the history of our education system, thank you, people are agreeing with me. If you look at this system, education was primarily meant for you to get skilled and knowledgeable, and then to utilize the skill and knowledge to get a job. And that looked like the end of the tunnel for everybody. So this is a narrative. I mean, the country developed post-independence with this narrative. I believe in many years back, India was known to be very entrepreneurial, but I still believe even in these few years that education policy as such was focused towards developing more skills of being employed than of being an entrepreneur. In India, people were actually born very entrepreneurial. Okay, it's something like very unfortunate that over the years we were made to start. We were made to think that education is only for getting a good job, and that's unfortunate. If you look at if you look at the streets in India, we are so entrepreneurial and so hardworking that from Monday to Saturday, if you have the shop shutters open, on Sunday when the shutters close down, one new market comes in front of this old market on a Sunday. Have you seen that? So India doesn't sleep. Even on a Sunday, we do business. From the weekday, we do. But basically, as we go on getting more educated, somehow we are more aligned towards getting a job. Okay, it's also the global economy has led to a lot of demand for jobs, offshoring and things. So basically, everything was like, okay, you are studying for a job. Then comes 2015 onwards, I think the whole agenda is started to change. And even if you see the new education policy, you will see that there is a lot of emphasis on now changing this narrative and saying that, well, jobs are always there, but we need more entrepreneurs in the country. Sir has told me to compare with other countries. So I'll just give you, without much data or statistics, that why is this so important for the country? This is so important because who creates value in the country? The value is created by entrepreneurs. And entrepreneurs are across the board. A chaiwala is an entrepreneur. A pushcart guy is an entrepreneur. A vegetable vendor is an entrepreneur. An Ambani is an entrepreneur. So you have everybody who creates a business for himself, a work for himself, whatever he does, he's an entrepreneur. Okay. So if you look at this, if people self-employ themselves, the load on the government is much less. But more important than that is that if people employ themselves, everybody is creating value. Otherwise, we are creating value through some institution, which is okay, but we need somebody to create that value. So either government is the owner of the institutions or private sector is the owner. Somebody is creating that avenue for you to get employed. So if you don't have entrepreneurs in the country, then you don't have the value created in the country. Value is like what you're creating in goods and services. The value created in the country is less. The employment created in the country is less. It's that important. And the innovations in the country are less. That's a very, very important point. So if you look at the history of countries, you will see that the countries which have given more importance to entrepreneurship, those are the countries which actually moved forward very fast. They moved ahead. Even a small country like Taiwan, which is very, very small and has always been, at the receiving end, because it is sometimes considered part of China, sometimes not. So whatever it is, I'm not going into the political part. But a country like Taiwan also, because it encouraged its entrepreneurs, if you look at their GDP for that small country, it's pretty high. So the more you encourage entrepreneurs, the more value is created, the more employment is created, the more innovations are created, and we stay ahead of the curve, and it brings the country up in the rankings of development. So that is the context, of entrepreneurship and the importance of entrepreneurship. Coming to the new policy and the new scope of things, today, as you all have seen, as students and as faculty, there is a focus on creating centers of innovation in every education institution and in every technical and other colleges, where you have incubators, and government is spending a lot of money on funding incubators and setting up innovation centers, including in schools also. They are funding tinkering labs so that children from that age start thinking entrepreneurially. So that is the whole gamut of things that has opened up post 2015, where the entrepreneurship is right on top, and startups are having now they are being encouraged throughout the country. One data which I can share with you is, and a very happy data, is that today, if you look at the number of startups coming up, then we come third in the world after US and China. See, there's nothing much to feel happy, and yet we are happy. We are happy because at least we have come to the third level, but we are also the most populous country in the world. So that is okay. Therefore, we are now on the third rank in terms of the number of startups being registered and signed up every year. We have, I mean, on a minute basis, I don't know the exact data, but we have a number of startups that come up every minute. Of course, startup failure rate is also very high, but then at least that mindset is coming in, and that will pull the country and the innovation cycles up. So let me start with my presentation, which is like the journey of an entrepreneur. I'm basically taking the journey of a startup, because many of you students who are listening today, and many of the faculty also, see, it is not about only doing something as a business person. When we say entrepreneur, even a person who is working in an institution can be an entrepreneur, because he can take up initiatives in his employment. So it is an entrepreneurial mindset that I'm talking about. Whether you're working in an institution or you're serving in the government, wherever, whatever you're doing, if you are having an entrepreneurial mindset, it means you're an entrepreneur. The best entrepreneur I can think of today, and I'm being very generic, and I'm saying is a mother. Okay, she takes the biggest risk in life. I mean, if you look at a mother's life, right from pre-marriage to, I take it in a joking way, I say she got into an agreement to marry with somebody, and we call, in the startup world, we call it as a co-founder. So she gets together to start a startup. This startup is a family. Okay, so her co-founder is a husband or spouse, and then she starts this business. We can't say it, it's a household. And then she has children, and then she brings up those children. And then imagine today what you are highly influenced by what your mother has taught you to be. That's the important role. And if I call mother as the mother of all entrepreneurs. That's her role. Okay. So with that happy note on the mother, let me just share one thing with you, and then we will proceed from there. Just 1 second. Yeah. Just give me a minute. Sir, in this talk, is it possible to get the response of the people also?
Yeah, there will be 15 minutes interaction, madam.
Acha, that will be towards the end?
Yes, towards the end.
Okay. Okay, just a second. Let me share it. 1 second. Yeah. Please tell me if you are able to see.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, we are able to see.
Yes. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I want all of you to, and I'll ask this question in the 15 minutes interaction that we'll have. We can have a longer interaction as well if you have enough questions. So now you just, for one day, just take 2 minutes to think about how your day goes. Okay. And start thinking of it. When you wake up in the morning, you pick up your phone generally, and you start your day with seeing, okay, what messages I've got on WhatsApp. One day, just track your day. Okay. And in today's generation, if the younger generation is here on this talk, I'm sure our generation reads newspapers, but today's generation does not read newspaper. They go with the reading apps. This is a InShots app. They'll pick up this InShot app and they'll see what are the headlines for today, what happened. And then you probably go down to your kitchen and find something missing. You'll just quickly go on an app and pick up a big basket and say, oh, I have this, or a Zepto, and say, okay, this is missing. Let me just order this. And during COVID, especially, we had this Farm Easy, any immune booster we could take. Then going to work, just order a cab on your phone. Then you want to do additional programs. There are Byju's, there Vedanta, and so many other app-based learning programs. Then you are hungry. I mean, in a single day, you are doing all this. You're going on a Swiggy and ordering food. Somebody told you, okay, now you have to make the payment. It's so simple. Today morning, in High-Tech City, I cross High-Tech City to go to work. I don't know if you're from outside Hyderabad. There is one place in Hyderabad called High-Tech City, and that has been declared in India as the busiest junction in India. Busiest. So it takes easily 5 to 7 minutes to cross that High-Tech City junction. So I made one immediate payment I had to make, because 7-8 minutes are easily there for me. So I go on my phone and make a payment. Then I'm bored, I watch a movie on Netflix. In a day, and I can assure you that some of the people who are students who are watching this program from somewhere must have already Googled to check out who is this lady talking to us today. And then we have Zoom, we are connecting to all of us out throughout the country. We are connecting with each other through a Zoom. And you can play a game. I'll go back home and probably leave a message on Facebook or leave a tweet and say, I had a wonderful time talking to students in B.R. Ambedkar University. Now, what have I done in my whole day? Just look at this whole day, how it has gone for me and for you. You must have used some of these or more. If you're a youngster, there will be many more in between as well. I've just picked up a few. What have we done? Just track your day. You have used all the apps and facilities and services of a startup. And these startups are in India, or they are international also, like Uber, Google, etc. And these startups have created this value for you. Otherwise, can you think of being at home and getting goods at home at hardly any price? If you pick up even your scooter to go, it won't be that price. At home, you are getting products, even a simple things, in just 15 to 20 rupees transport cost from all these apps at home. And you can just think of all these things that you are getting, WhatsApp messages from friends and business partners across the globe without having to pay anything much except the data throughout. Who has created this value? This value has been created by people like you and me. They are startups. They created this value. And so today it's so convenient. If some of you remember, around 10, 12 years back, we had the airport here, and going to the airport from the city was a huge expenditure. I remember paying 1,600 in 2012 to go from Secunderabad to international airport. And today I pay 800 to 900, almost around half the price what I paid in 2008 12. So just imagine, how did it become cheap? Because there is an Uber there. There is a Ola there. Okay. So what am I trying to say? Look how value is created. And that's the importance of an entrepreneur. Instead of telling you what an entrepreneur is and what his journey is, let's take the story of an entrepreneur. Well, he's called as Dr. D, and many of us in the academic world know why we call somebody a doctor, because when you specialize in something, then the person is called as a doctor. Now, our Dr. D is just 10th class pass. He's just 10th class pass, and he lives in a small village in Tamil Nadu. He doesn't know Hindi, English, but he has one thing. He is passionate. He has a fire in the belly, and he has the entrepreneurial bug in him. He wants to do something and reach somewhere in his life. So Dr. D, his name is Prem Ganapati, actually living in a small village in Tamil Nadu. catches hold of his uncle and says, I need to do something. I just have a little money with me and I want to go ahead and use this money to start some business. What can I do? Hardly he had 1,000 rupees, or those days, long back, many 30, 40 years back, I think. So what happens? So my voice is coming clear, right?
Yes, it's very clear.
Clear, okay. So what does Prem Ganapati do? He goes to his uncle and says, please take me somewhere where I can just do some business. So his uncle tells him, look, the best place for you is Bombay. So pack up your bag and your money and come, let's go to Bombay. Okay. So I would request students not to annotate on the presentation, please. Yeah. If you have something, you write it in the chat. Okay. So what Prem Ganapati does is, his uncle says, pack your bags. We are catching the next train and going to Mumbai and trying to see if we can make some fortune in Mumbai. Mumbai is known as a land of dreams. So let's go. So Prem Ganapati packs up his bag, and with 1,000 or so, or some 5,000-6,000 rupees, they move to Mumbai. Now, when he is in the train going to Mumbai and nearing the railway station in Mumbai, his uncle tells him, this is a dangerous place, okay? So don't keep the money here and there, give it to me. And after we get down and go out of the railway station, I'll give it back to you. So he takes the money from Prem Ganapati and goes to the restroom and then doesn't come back. We're nearing the station. And then the people in the compartment, as the train is slowly stopping, says that, look, you have been cheated. Your uncle is gone. Now, what you have to do is get down of the station, just put a hanky in front of you and sit down. Some people will put some money. And as soon as you get enough money to buy a ticket back home, go buy a ticket right in the railway station and go back home. Prem Ganapati could have done that. He could have done that. He could have just taken the money and gone back home, begged for some money and gone back. But Prem Ganapati was not meant for that. So what does he do? He has no money. Just look at his business model. He has given all his money to his uncle. Sorry. He's given all his money to his uncle. He doesn't know English, Hindi. He lands up in Mumbai, has no idea about Mumbai, and walks out of the railway station. His first thing is, I don't know this place and I need a place, I need a job, I need something, I need a roof to sleep tonight and I have no money. So Prem Ganapati walks down the first street in Mumbai, outside of the railway station, and finds a chai wala there. Sorry. Goes to the chai wala and tells him, you are washing the cups of tea and you are making tea and you are serving the tea, everything. Why do you do all this? Just give me little money and tell me where I can sleep the night. I'll wash the cups of tea for you. I just employ me for a small amount. Within half an hour of landing in Mumbai, he gets his first job. He gets his first job within half an hour. Now he knows this guy will take care. He'll wash his cups and he will guide him where to go and where to find a place. So he works for around 2 months or 2.5 months with this guy by the time he understands Mumbai. And then he walks down the street a bit more after 2-3 months and he gets his second job, which is a restaurant. Okay. So in the restaurant, he goes right up to the manager and says, look, I'm from Tamil Nadu. I can make great dosas. And if you give me this job and you can see the number of, customers increasing because I have a knack of really making good dosas. So within 3 months, he lands with his second job. Now, this job is a window for him to understand the market. Okay. So as an entrepreneur, you have to first be flexible enough to be able to do anything. Okay. And you cannot say, I'm going to sit in an AC room and, have employees with me. No, you have to get down on the shop floor. You have to walk the hot streets. You have to meet the people. You have to understand the market. That is the first feature of characteristic of an entrepreneur. So he starts making dosas there. And then he's back end. When he is making dosas in the kitchen, slowly, after 15, 20 days, he tells the same manager that, you know what, a dosa is fine, I can make dosas, but why don't you make me a bearer? If you make me a bearer, I will serve the dosas and I will talk to the customers. And I promise you, within very little time, your number of customers will start increasing because I have a nice way to talk to the customer. Now, what does Prem Ganapati want? He wants to front end. He wants to be with the customer so that he understands the taste of the customer and the preference of the customer. So the second characteristic of an entrepreneur is always understand, know your market, know your customer, know what your customer wants, at what price he wants, in what way he wants. So what does he learn? He's promoted to become a bearer in that restaurant. And so what does he learn? He learns from the customers. Bombay is a busy life. People don't want to sit and eat for too long. They want instant food. They want innovative food. They don't want every day the same dosa. They want very, very innovative dosas. Even in dosa, you can be innovative. So they want different things. And he's understanding the life of his customer. And this has been a big learning for him. He understands what his customer wants, and he's picked up from there. And slowly, he keeps on working and seeing the life of Mumbai, learning the language, trying to speak with the customer. The hotels, customership clients, I mean, the customers keep increasing and they're very happy. So he keeps working for some time, he saves some money. And the moment he has some money by which he can buy a pushcart himself, or that tapri or whatever you call it, immediately he buys one small pushcart like thing, takes it and starts his own business. Now remember, he doesn't know much. So he takes this thing and he starts making dosas on his own. Okay, and so some customers come and all that. Slowly he saves some more money. The story goes this way. Then he buys a small room in front of a college, something like our university or college. He buys one small space and then puts 3-4 tables and chairs and starts selling the dosa idli. Okay, and the students become his customers. And slowly, as time goes by, they are his friends. And then they start telling Prem Ganapati, see, you have to always be innovative and learn and educate yourself. There's no end to it. The students come and tell him that, listen, why don't you put up this about your dosa in the, just start, you have this small joint here. He took one room and he started. Why don't you put up this on internet, that you are selling dosas here? If you put on internet, more people will see and more people will come. This was the start of the internet. So he says, okay, can you help me? So the students help him to open a website. He opens a website under the name of Dosa Plaza. And from there, there's no looking back. And then the number of customers increase, and he goes on the website and he goes on selling his dosas. And one fine day, he gets a call. And the call says, is this Dosa Plaza? He says, yes. I want to speak to Mr. Prem Ganapati, the owner. He says, speaking. And then the guy says, we want your franchise. So he says, just a moment, I'll call you back. And he puts the phone and he goes to the students and asks them, what is this franchise? I don't know. What does it mean? And then the students tell him they want to use your name. And they want to pay you some money for using your name and selling under your name, because your name has become famous. Franchise. So he understands, but he is so smart. Then he goes back to them and says, I can give you my franchise on one condition. And the condition is that, one, you have to buy the batter of the dosa from me. That's the first condition. And what is the second? The second condition is that for using the name, of course, you will pay me the royalty, but you buy the dosa batter from me. Now, what has he done? By putting this condition, he has done a very interesting thing. One, he has controlled the quality, because if they go and make under his name horrible dosas, he'll get a bad name. Dosa Plaza will get a bad name. So he says, no, the batter you have to buy from me, then you can make. Now he has not only controlled the quality. So quality control is very, very important. If your quality is not good, entrepreneur will not survive. And the second thing he has done is he has added an additional source of revenue for his business. Remember, he is also not very big. So now he is having his own business, plus he's having franchise, plus he's selling the batter as well. So he has created multiple sources of revenue for himself, which is a smart businessman. So today, as he stands, this is little old data, sorry. He's around more than 100 crores today. And he's got 70 outlets. That's the story through which I wanted to bring out what is an entrepreneur. He's in New Zealand, Dubai, and Oman. And that is how he got his name, Dr. D, which is you are a doctorate in making dosa. So Dr. D, Prem Ganapati is called as Dr. D. Now, if you look at his life, you will come to know the journey of an entrepreneur and the characteristics of an entrepreneur. One is the passion you have to have. He had this passion that I can make good things and I can make money out of it and I can do a business. The second thing is that be very focused in what you're doing. Third thing is always have an eye on the customer. Fourth thing is always create sources of revenue for yourself. Always keep quality in check, and always try to expand if you want to grow the business and find the ways to expand it. Of course, laser focus is always required. So this is the basically, yeah, and he's making more than 100 varieties of dosas. He was one of the first ones who came up with the 99 varieties of dosas. And so innovation is always the name of the game. If you want to remain in the business, today you may be the top player in the business, but it doesn't take you very long to go out of sight. Let me give you the examples of, if you remember the early 2000s, BlackBerry was the famous phone. Everybody today, how you look at Apple phone, that time it was BlackBerry. Everybody wanted a BlackBerry. It didn't take it long. Within 5 years, it started declining. Today, BlackBerry has pulled out of the market. Why did it happen? Because they were not innovative enough, and because when every phone moved to touch phone, they still had keys on the phone. They did not move to touch screen. BlackBerry was out. Same thing after that, Nokia came. Nokia phone was the best phone for so many years. Why did they go? Again, not enough innovation. So today, innovation cycle is so fast. Within 2-3 years, the innovations keep on changing. That if you want to stay ahead of the curve, you have to keep innovating. And even in a thing like food also, people want something different. Forget about electronics and equipment. So innovation is something which is fundamental to an entrepreneurial journey. The difference between an entrepreneur and a businessman is only this. I can be a kirana shop. I can be a traditional business, that is okay. But I'm a businessman. But when am I called an entrepreneur? When I am not just a businessman, but I also bring innovation in my business. So that's why we want startups in the country, because startups are innovative. They bring new things, they bring new technology. Okay, and they tell the traditional business also how they can scale up. So businessman is there for doing business and making money. Entrepreneur is there for not just doing business and making money, but for also bringing innovation in the country. And that's the difference. Now, why do people start business? There are many reasons why they start business. Sometimes I am been helping startups for the past 10 years, and I see people come for many reasons. One is they have a family business, but they don't want to get into a traditional business. So they say, okay, how can we improve on that? That's fine. Some people just want to make money, say, okay, startup is a fancy name, I want to start, so you need fame. Then you just want to take up a new challenge, or your boss has fired you, you're bored. A lot of techies are bored of their multinational company businesses, and they say, okay, we are quitting, we don't like this 9 to 5 job. Why am I working so hard for some other boss? Let me work for myself. There are many reasons why people want to start a business, but the ones that survive are only one. Not the ones who want to make money, not the ones who are kicked out of jobs, not the ones who want challenge. The only reason that you may survive is that you have to have a passion for what you do. And again, if you have passion also, it's not necessary that you will survive as a business, as an entrepreneur. But if you have a passion, that will pull you through and you may survive. And that is the only reason why you should actually take on a business. If you have a passion, then money will come. But if you're doing it only for money without passion, money will never come. That's the rule of a startup world. Now, moving on to how do you decide? And let's take it from small stories of different entrepreneurs. We will keep learning what is their journey. So, like I said, you have to have a passion. So this guy had a passion. You can all see Steve Jobs, okay? And those days, having a computer was a hobby. From making it a hobby, he made it a must-have product. Today, even a kid cannot do without a computer, right? You're almost born with a computer in your hand. It's become like that. You're born with a phone and a computer in your hand. But basically, he started this personal computer as something which is used only for office or hobby or office. Either office, it's an office equipment, or hobby. It's become like a personal thing. It's your personal mate, I should say. Sometimes it's becoming like a soulmate almost. And that is what Steve Jobs made computers, and that was his passion. He also created music, starting from garage, where he put some wires together to make a computer, to revolutionizing the computer industry and the personal music industry, personal music into a music industry with the help of computers and iPads and iPhones and all that you think. So it was only passion. Nothing else could have driven him. He was quite a difficult person as a boss, but then his passion took him through. And today, the entire range of products that you have is because this guy standing there had the passion. Then, perseverance after passion. Now, I'm sure you recognize this gentleman. He started his business at post-retirement. He was 60 when he started. He's called Colonel Sanders. His name is. And what did he do? He was actually, in spite of all his retirement benefits, he put all his retirement benefits in starting one small business. He was actually penniless at 65. He knew to make one good recipe of chicken. And he used to make this recipe of chicken and take it in his car, take orders, and go and supply this to households. And he used to sell the chicken. So people loved this one recipe of chicken, and he kept on supplying this to many households. But he could not scale up the business. He just could not, because he was doing it traditionally, and he was just doing. So somewhere down the line, again, he like Prem Ganapati, he was also given asked, can you, we want to buy out your business. And this KFC, now called KFC, bought out Colonel Sanders' business of chicken. And he got paid. Even then, he did not even bargain for a high price to sell his whole brand, but he was bought out. But today also they keep his photo on a KFC, because he is the founder of the KFC. And what was it that at 60, he started doing this business, and then he went through so many difficulties? Only his perseverance. So in the journey of an entrepreneur, not just starting point is passion, but at some point you will break down because there are too many ups and downs in this journey. It is not an easy journey, and neither, I mean, I'm not trying to scare anybody, but 100% if it was an easy journey, we would have had 90% entrepreneurs and 10% employees. Well, it's not like that. It's the opposite, right? It is a tough journey. Not everybody has a stomach for it. So he basically sold this business and made his exit. But till there also, it was his perseverance at 60 to start this business and then take it to a level where he could sell the business to somebody. Perseverance. So many times you will break down and you say, no, I can't do it. It's too tough for me. That is the time. This perseverance is very, very important. That come what may, I have to go ahead. I will fall 100 times. I will dust my back and get up. And only then I can go forward. If you can't persevere, this game is not for you. Perseverance, if you can't, you have to learn to be perseverant. The next thing is risk, and there's a lot of, you have to have risk tolerance and you have to accept failure. Appetite for risk should be high. So in any entrepreneurial journey, the risk factor is always high. Of course, no risk, no return. Higher the risk, higher the return. So therefore, if you have an appetite for risk, only then take it up. But learn to accept it, learn to mitigate risk, and learn to overcome failure. So in a startup world today, normally what we say is that we are calling a lot of failed entrepreneurs to come and give talks, because from failed entrepreneurs, there is a lot of learning, more learning from failed entrepreneurs of what not to do than from successful entrepreneurs of what to do. So therefore, it's okay to fail in business. That is a part of the game and part of the life of any business entrepreneur. And let me tell you some statistics throughout the world. On an average, behind every success are on an average 3 failures. So all the successful businessmen that you see, including Steve Jobs, including Ambani, including Birla, Tata, anybody, behind everyone, behind all these entrepreneurs, for every success, on an average, the statistics goes like 3 failures are there, then 1 success comes. So it's part of the journey. You have to learn to accept it. For example, in the case of Apple, they had so many of their products failed, right? The couple of their products failed. And in the case of what is this? Amazon tried a phone. They tried to come up with a phone called 3D Fire phone. It failed. Many things don't even land in the market, and they fail even before, but there's huge investment which has gone into it. Even your Microsoft, they had one of their products, huge failure. So there are many things, and you have to accept failure as being part of the game. Are you good at making decisions? This is one question you have to ask yourself. Are you good at making decisions? You are the boss. Nobody is going to tell you what to do. So therefore, you should not wait for someone. You have to live with this doubt and the gray areas. Will this work? Will this not work? If you think it works, you take the decision and you take the risk and you go forward. So be a good decision maker. Are you willing to play multiple responsibilities? Now, this is important because when you start up, you don't have too many people and you have to take on multiple responsibilities and you have to learn multiple things. For example, if I'm a coder and I say I'll make an algorithm or I'll make something in the phone which will be a super duper hit as a app or something, but I may be great at making a product because I'm a techie, let us say. I may be great at making the product, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be a success because I may be bad at marketing. So as an entrepreneur, if I'm good at making product development, but I'm bad at marketing, again, my business fails. Suppose I'm good at marketing, but my product is very bad, again, my business fails. So there are multiple things from finance, marketing, operations, all those things you have in management. Any one you don't know, You need to know accounts, you need to know finance, you need to understand your cash flows, you need to understand your margins, your gross, you need to understand regulation. Anywhere you fail. Now, today you will see a lot of startups are having problems, including startups like big hits like Byju's. Why? Not because they didn't go right, because they didn't comply. They didn't comply. Okay, so some of these startups, if they fail in compliance, for example, Paytm was asked to close their bank, right? Because they didn't comply KYC properly, right? So if you fail anywhere in compliance or in product or in the way you deliver it or in the marketing or in the branding, or if you cannot expand or go global, something happens, the business can collapse. So you're ready to play multiple responsibilities, then it's fine. Multiple hats you must wear. So in the startup world, we have a joke. Usually we say, what do we say? What is your business like? We say we are B2B, that means business to business. We are business to customer, B2C, or we are B2G, business to government. That means our market is government. Our business is the customer, end customer, or our business is another business. So we people in the startup world, we say that we are all C2C. So somebody asked me, what is this C2C? So he said, this is a code word for all startups. When we say we are C2C, we mean we are Chaprasi to CEO. We are everything. From Chaprasi of the company to CEO of the company, we are everything. So we say we are C2C. So adaptability is a must. That's what I want to say. Now, there are many youngsters, especially, who come and ask me, what is the right business that we should do, right? So, see, what business you should pick up always will come from the heart. What is the passion? Always do that. Second, what is the skill you have? Third, if you have worked, most of the entrepreneurs, they have worked for many years and then they come out and start their business. So when you have worked somewhere, you will gain some skills and some organizational fit, and you will know where the gaps in the market are. You will know the recent trends. So pick up from your passion, pick up from your skills, your what skills you have or what education you have, what are you good at in your as a person. You have gained some skills, you have gained some knowledge. Pick up from your experience where you have worked. For example, a techie guy always will come and try to do something techie because he understands the gaps in the market. He knows what to fill the gap as a business. Then sometimes you might just want to do a lifestyle business. That means I'm okay doing a business which just gives me basic salary, which is okay. It's again your choice. You want to do, I want to open a small shop in my house, or I want to do business from my house. It gives me happiness. Like there are many people who are doing business on Facebook. They're doing business. That's also okay. So it depends on what you want, but basically look at your skill, your passion, your experience, and then see what the world wants. And then that becomes a good fit for you. Normally for youngsters, we say this, see what you are good at. Okay. So what are you good at? That is one circle. All right. So what are you good at? Then what you love, I mean, your passion, what you're good at and what you love is your passion, right? And then look at what the world needs. So what the world needs is something, right? Can there be an intersection? Yes, I love doing this and the world also needs this. Then make it a mission. Make it a mission. Sorry. Then make it a mission. And then if what the world needs, are they also ready to pay for it? I mean, they may need 100 things, but are they ready to pay for a product or service? If they are ready to pay, there's an intersection point here, then you can go for it. That intersection, make it a vocation. That means educate yourself, get the skills in it, then make it your profession. So if I look at what you're good at, what you love doing, what the world needs, and what the world is ready to pay, you will end up from passion to mission to vocation to profession. And in this, everything that works out for you, what is good, what you love, what you world needs, what they pay for it, there's an intersection point of all this. This is called as, famously called as, if you can find an intersection point, This is famously called as ikigai. Ikigai is a Japanese word, and it tells you to identify your ikigai as a person. Now, I can do this if I'm a professor, if I'm a businessman, if I'm a singer. For example, if I'm a singer, what will I say? I'm good at singing. I love it. But does the world want to hear me singing? Well, they want to hear me singing rural songs, regional songs, local folk, jazz music, what the world needs. Can I sing that? I'll put it. Yeah, I like singing a bit of folk songs, let us say. So I make it a vocation. I become a folk singer. And then I say, yeah, the world is paying me for this. Now, this is my ikigai, and I should work on this ikigai, identifying the ikigai and working on this. These Japanese come out with fantastic things, na? So this they have given to the world. You identify your ikigai. So the best business for you is the one that matches who you are, what you know how to do. That means what you're skilled at, what you like to do, and what are the resources that are available to you in terms of money, people, infrastructure, whatever you have. So put it all together and say, this is the best thing I can do. I will not go through the whole thing. I'll just tell you one or two things in this. Then you will be able to identify. For example, I started with something, so I'll go back to that. Yeah, I'm looking at one person here, Jan Com. Now, this guy is a Ukrainian. Okay, he's a Ukrainian he was studying in US. And though the Ukraine war was not happening at that time, but what happened was he used to send emails to his father in Ukraine. And his father used to read his emails after 4 or 5 days and all. Imagine a student who is studying in US, runs out of money or some emergency, and writes to his father, I need help, send me money or whatever. And the father reads the mail after 6 days, and what will happen to this guy in US? So Jancom just thought that if I can send an email, why cannot I send a message through the same internet? And that is how he started using internet to send messages over the phone. Somehow he was the one who founded WhatsApp. He is the founder of WhatsApp. So we call this as the aha moment. Aha, I can do this. So for all startups, there is one aha moment. That aha moment is when the bulb shines and say, okay, I can do this. In fact, if you go back in history, there was Samuel Morse. Okay, and today the telegram is out of business. But for many, many years, we only sent telegrams, and people would get scared when they get a telegram because it's an emergency. If any telegram comes, first thing we'll put our hands on our heart. Today you have cell phone. Those days there were no cell phones. So only way to send an immediate message was a telegram, which was founded by Samuel Morse through a code called Morse code. So why did he start Morse code? Because uh, he found his wife dead. After 1 month, it was too late when he went back to his village or wherever. He didn't even know where he was. And when he came back, there was no way to contact him. Maybe he was traveling. When he reached home, they told him she died 1 month back. And then he said, no, this should not never happen to anybody. And he invented a code. So the Morse code was linked to the phone or whatever lines. And that's how telegrams used to go. Today, this is out. But that's the starting. One more interesting example, because what you will remember are lots of good stories, I'm sure. This is about our Indian guy. It's not here. It's not in this. These are all the aha moments. I'll tell you an Indian story. I'll just take a break here. Am I going fine? I hope it's okay. Give me a feedback. Otherwise, I feel I'm just talking.
Ma'am, it's excellent, ma'am. It's excellent.
Okay. So I'm sure the people who are listening to me will think that I'm a foodie because I'm going back to give you another example of dosa. Now, I'm sure by now you have decided this lady is a foodie. Okay. So there was this guy in from Kerala. Okay. And, he would have his breakfast every day. And then he realized that 1 month, second month, third month, He's getting to eat all the South Indian breakfast, idli, dosa, everything, but no vada at all. And then he finally caught hold of his mom and said, "Why are we not getting vada for breakfast?" So his mother, very apologetically told him, "Look, son, making a vada is not easy because you have to make it thick, you have to put it in the hand, make a hole in the middle, and then put it in the oil. And the oil, it's not an easy thing. Idli dosa is so simple. So that's the reason you're not getting vada." Okay. So that was his aha moment. He said, "Why is it so difficult to make a vada?" So what he did was he made a pouch. Pouch is not new, but what was new was the nozzle. The nozzle was made in such a way that you can squeeze. So in the pouch was the vada batter, and you can squeeze it in the oil. And when you squeeze it, exactly the batter for one vada falls in the oil with the hole in the middle. So that was the nozzle was patented by him, and that became famous. But that was his aha moment. Aha, I can do this. From there, he started, and then he became very famous. Can someone unmute and tell me today what is the name of his business? Anybody? You get it in all supermarkets, all these Ratnadeeps and all these shops, you will get it. It's the batter. Anybody unmute? Even the faculties can unmute and tell me. We use it quite often. I don't know if you have heard of ID Foods. You get idli batter, dosa batter, roti, paneer. Today you have a lot of products. So ID Foods was started by Muhammad Mustafa from Kerala, and he became so famous that Harvard Business School called him to give a case study of ID Foods. So he went to Harvard and he said the name of his presentation was the Indian donut, the vada. And then he told them the story of the start of ID Foods. So everyday life, you will see many problems. When you wake up in the morning till night, you have so many things. I wish this was like this. I wish I could do this. I wish I can change this. I wish this lake was clean. I wish the air was purer. I wish we could do this. I wish. So those are all your aha moments. If it matches with your thing, you can think of starting a business in that. Now, how can you survive as a startup entrepreneur? Because one of the most difficult things for an entrepreneur is survival. Okay. So we are at 3:37. Okay. Yeah. So the survival rate of an entrepreneur is a difficult thing because he goes through so many ups and downs, and failure rate is very high. So how do you survive? So let's see. I will just give you a few mantras and you can take it if you like it. Well, first thing is you have to start with self-belief that you can make it. Okay. Even if you fail, you can learn from it and come back again. That's okay. 110% faith on yourself that you can do it. If you don't have that, or if you're not sure of the product, or if you're not sure of whether this product will survive, then make ways of making sure. But once you have taken it up, be sure you can go ahead. Okay. So have that self-belief. Look at this statement. Ivy League degrees and fancy MBAs are not what make an entrepreneur. Grit, perseverance, and a superhuman ability to have faith in yourself does. I'm not telling her story, but you can Google yourself and read the story of Kalpana Saroj, who came on to head the CEO of Kamini Tubes later, and an entrepreneur of some 20 odd businesses. Rags to riches story, literally. You can see it on Google. We don't have the time, but I would love to share her story as well. Second is take risk. I told this earlier also. So if you look at this guy, Elon Musk, he is cranky, he is risky. He started PayPal. He sold the business, he took the money, he put it in SpaceX. Now he put it in Tesla. Now he put it in Twitter and bought out and made it X. So just look at him. He's just taking risk everywhere. And he bought Twitter also for a huge, I don't know how many $billion. SpaceX he bought for 74 billion. So he just does a business, takes money, then he puts it in another business. He has no knowledge of what is this called space. But today, even NASA is asking him to help. If you know what has happened in space today, there's a spaceship which has gone up from NASA. It was supposed to be in the air for what, 1 week or 8 days or 7 days. From 5 months, they are not able to bring down that rocket today. Sunita Williams, the aeronaut, she's stuck up there in space. They're not able to bring her down, and her colleagues. So they have asked SpaceX for help. And SpaceX of Elon Musk told them he needs some 4 or 5 months. So another 4 or 5 months they have to be in space. I don't know if this, I mean, it's not going to be easy for them. But the fact that NASA has also come to him to ask him to help him go to space and rescue the rocket which is in space shows that this guy has taken risks to get where he is. Provide true value to the customer. Now you look at this, I was giving you an example of Uber. There is nothing new about a cab. There is nothing new about a cab. But still it has value. Why? Because it was two things. It was costlier. Second, it was not easy. It was not easy to get a cab. You start thinking of 10 years back. Where was it? It was not easy to get a cab. It was simply you had to book a cab. It was expensive. It's not like you just go. And even go to an auto also, you have to go to the road, get the auto, fight with the auto wala, this, that. Today, there is no question and answer. This is the route. This is the distance. This is the time. This is the price. Simple. Take it or leave it. It's an algorithm. It will sort out the route. It will sort out the time of the day. It'll search what, it'll sort out everything. Tell you this is the price. You want it? Click it. It'll come to your house, pick you up and take you. So there is a value. What's the value? The value is not the transport travel service. It's cheaper, faster, better. And what has changed is not the transport. What has changed is the way you get this transport. The way you hail a cab has changed. So what is the differentiator? What is the value that an Uber and Ola gives you is the way of hailing a cab and not a cab. Please remember that. That's the value. And that's where they could make it. So whatever you do, make it either cheaper, faster, or better. That's the differentiator. Either the product is the same but cheaper. Either the product is better because it has more features or easily usable, or the product works faster for you. It does the work faster. So cheaper, faster, better, and you are a differentiator. So when the customer is there, the first thing is to understand what the customer wants. Okay, that is where you can make a business out of it. Also, when you are in business, always remember you want to stand out, at least have one differentiator, one unique selling proposition amongst these tulips of yellow. Can you be that red tulip, which is a differentiator? And if you are, then you have value. So any successful entrepreneur who comes will always come with one small differentiator. If you look at the phone services also, suddenly you have Airtel comes with something, then after that you have Jio which came in, and what did they say? They say we're giving you a phone and so 1 year's data free. That's how they entered the market. That was a differentiator. Why did people run for Jio? It was a mad bloodbath to get that Jio phone, and that when it came first time, and the Jio services, people could not sustain it, but it was a mad rush because there was a differentiator. So your creativity lies in finding, not the product need not be different. The product may be the same, but you can attach a service with it. The way of selling it could be different. The way of packaging it could be different. The design could be different. The shape, color, smell, odor could be different. any one thing. The sales services could be different. The after sales services can be different. Anything. The amount of coupons that they give can be different. So where are you creative enough to create that niche is what is going to be important. Then you have to have a clear business model. Are you selling a product? Are you selling a service? Are you just trading? Are you creating a product and service in a subscription model? Are you creating product and trade and creating a marketplace like an Amazon? Are you creating your trading in services and having a brokerage model? So understand what model suits you and create a model. Know what you're after. This is very important. Okay. So I would like to say, because many of you are students here who are joining us on this talk today, there was a study in Harvard Business School in 1980, many years back. So on the graduation date, some guys went and did a research. All those who were graduating, they asked them, okay, today you're going out of Harvard Business School. We want to know, do you have a goal, or what will you do in life? Any specific goal? Do you have a goal? So, and they asked them, did you write down the goals? What did you do and all? So 84% guys said on graduation day, we don't have any specific goal. We just got a Harvard degree. We are happy about it. We'll do something. 13% said, yes, we have the goals, but we have never written them down. We have the goal in mind, okay? But we didn't write it down. Only 3% said that we have specific goals with the plan of action. That means, what is my next action 5 years, post 5 years, and long-term, short-term goal. And the plan of action is, first I take on a job, get experience, then I do this, then I start my business, whatever. They had a very specific path. So in 1990, the same group who was doing this research went back to them. Okay. And luckily, they I think had interviewed 100 students, and all 100 were, they could track down all the 100 students. And you know what were the results? The 3% who said they had specific goals with the plan of action were making 10 times more money, okay, and had succeeded than the 97% who had no goals, or who had goals but had not written them down. The 13% who had goals but had not written them down, they were making 2 times more than the 84% who had no specific goals at all. So you can see the trajectory. If you know what you're after, an entrepreneur should always know what he's after. I'm after this, I'm after that. This is my passion. This is what I want to do. This is my goal in life. Your goals can change. You can have short-term, long-term goals. Next 5 years, this is my goal. Next 10 years, this is my goal. It's fine to keep changing. Your goalposts will keep changing, but at least have them in the first place. Always, as an entrepreneur, hire the right team, and don't hire just because they are your friends and family. Hire them because they are good at the job. They are complementary to your business, and that is when you should hire them. If they are not good, please identify and fire them fast, because one apple can spoil the whole basket. Okay, so one wrong spoiled apple can spoil the whole basket of apples. One wrong appointment in the company, or hiring one wrong person, can spoil the environment in the entire business. So hire slow, fire fast. Hire the right person after a lot of understanding of what he brings to the table. Don't hire him just because you know him or because he's your friend. 9, pursue passion, not money. Pursue passion, money follows. Pursue money, it won't come to you. That's the rule of every entrepreneur. Only passion can drive you to money. Okay? So don't look at somebody just because he has a Ferrari, he may be he's born. No, even the richest of men can become poor, because money doesn't stay long. If you do not utilize it well, and you do not know how to utilize it, it goes, right? You may be born with a silver spoon, but it doesn't take long for the money to go if you don't use it well. And we have seen both sides of the story as well. Never give up. This is one thing. There was this guy called James Dyson. for the Indian story, there is Karsan Bhai Patel. How many of you have heard of Karsan Bhai? It's an old story of Karsan Bhai Patel who made this washing powder, Nirma, right? And he used to put it in plastic packets and go home, and like our Colonel Sanders used to go to every home and sell that packet of washing powder. And finally, slowly and slowly, it became Nirma washing powder, the famous one. Same way, James Dyson, he spent 15 years in experimenting and made 5,000 plus prototypes until he reached one prototype which actually hit the market, DC01. And then there was no looking back. But 15 years struggle. So either you give up, or then it's over, game over, or you pursue it. And the ones who pursue only can make it. So never give up. So now coming last part, I think I'll take another 10-15 minutes. Yeah, we'll finish at 3:10, and then we can go for Q&A. Yeah, what are the major stages of entrepreneurship? So can I take a break here and ask questions, a few questions right now? Otherwise, it's like a monologue. We can take 10 minutes questions here before I start this part of the talk.
Yeah, if you wish, you can.
Yeah. So if there are any questions from the audience, please, you can write it down, or you can unmute and ask. If you write down, I'll be able to get your question, and then we can answer it. Can they write down? Is there a facility for writing down?
It is there,
They can
ma'am.
use the chat box, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. There are 13. Okay. Right there. Okay. Okay. Yes, I see a lot. Sorry, I didn't see this earlier. Yeah. Really inspirational story. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. All these are like fine. Any questions? Now you can write down the questions also if you have any. Maybe 5 minutes, and then I'll go back to the entrepreneurial journey and what it means. So any of you have any questions, please feel free to ask right now. Thank you, Srivalli, Bina, Sarla Jhansi Rani, Srinivas, Dr. Srinivas, Dr. Sarita, Mr. Shivakrishna, Dr. Srinivas again. Thank you all so much. Ms. Nagamani, Zeenat, all of you have replied. Thank you so much. Yes, I have a new message. What's that? Okay. Should a small startup, grassroots entrepreneurship, okay. Should a small startup should be registered? Okay. Yes, every startup, every business has to be registered. If it is not, then you cannot really call it a business. It's a hobby, right? So if you are doing a business, you have to be registered. Very soon, so there's registrar of companies, you have to register with them. And there's Ministry of Corporate Affairs, where depending on the type of registration you do, you should, but everyone has to be registered in ROC, Registrar of Companies. You can be a single seller, that's called a proprietor. And today you have one person company also. So sole proprietor, like I'm running a shop at home, or I'm doing some business at home, from home, or just I'm doing tailoring. I just opened one outlet. I'm a sole entrepreneur, so that's sole proprietor, and I can have a one-person company. Then I can have a partnership. Then I can have a limited liability partnership. Then I can have a private limited company. I can have an NGO. I can have a trust. I can have a society. So there are many forms of registering a business. Some are for profit, some are not for profit. Like an educational society is not for profit. Okay, so Section 8 company is not for profit. It's like it's like a club or a society or a group of people coming together to do something. Okay, that's a Section 8 company. So you can start a small business also. If it is very, very small, see, people do it like many of the women, they do all masalas, pickles, and all in villages, and then they run a small business like that. So those are they are called unorganized businesses. That's why when you're talking about small enterprises, India has a lot of small unorganized business which is not registered. You're just doing it at home and selling it and earning some money. That is unorganized sector. And we have a huge unorganized sector as well. So if you want to come into the thing as a startup, everybody has to be registered. If you're called a startup, you have to be a registered startup. Otherwise, you won't be recognized also as a startup. You won't get the benefits of a startup. Under Startup India, you have to register as a startup. Can you please tell us about grassroots entrepreneurship? Yeah. So at the grassroots level, there's a lot of innovation which happens, but it is very local to the needs, naturally, to the village. Uh, for example, I've seen a lot of grassroots entrepreneurs, like to sow seeds, they have made some equipment, sowing seeds. Okay, it's an amazing thing. Then nowadays you don't have to sow seeds. There's a business which started where you will create the plant like a sapling. So the business is that today many of the farmers are not sowing the seeds. Okay, in many of the plants or whatever their crop they are growing, even if it is a grain crop and all, there's another set of business which grows the plant up to some level, and those plants are sold, like in sugarcane also, I think so. I'm not an expert in that field, but I'm just telling you. So that is a whole new business which has come up. You don't sow the seeds, you put the plant itself there, like that. And then for spraying, I had one startup. When you spray, you carry that box behind you on your shoulder. There's some way, and then you spray pesticide. So today, you don't need to carry that heavy thing on your back. There is a wheel to which is attached, and then that is all rural innovation. And the sprayer is there, and you can just walk through, and it keeps on spraying. So I'm not, and today there's a lot of technology being used in agriculture and in rural grassroots innovation. But a lot of grassroots means the entrepreneur comes from the village. There are a lot of entrepreneurs who come from cities and are doing for villages. But at the grassroots level, there are a lot of innovation also. Local entrepreneurs from the village, where they find a problem, they find a solution. So there is someone who has found, like, you don't need to go and switch on the water pump and switch off. From your app only, you can switch it on, you can switch it off. Otherwise, you have to walk, because pump is somewhere very far off, let us say. Then, or you have gone to the city. So anywhere, even if you have gone to city for selling your produce, from your app, you can switch off the water pump. So like that, these are small things I'm telling you, but there's a lot of grassroots entrepreneurship as well. Yeah, these are the two questions which came up. Yeah, Ram Ki Bandi is a very interesting thing from Hyderabad. And those of you who are not from Hyderabad, they will understand this Ram Ki Bandi. He's again, back to dosas and at least I told you, you will wonder. But this question didn't come from me, so don't blame me for coming back to dosa again. But Ram Ki Bandi is again a dosa seller. We started with Prem Ganapati. We are also going with Ram. Our Hyderabad Prem Ganapati guy called Ram. So he started this somewhere in this place. What is it called? In an old city, Jambag or somewhere. If I'm not mistaken, where actually there were a lot of other dosa sellers and street food available. But what did he do different? That's his model is something I discuss in most of my classes. Today I hadn't put it up, but I can tell you. So in any business, please remember, first thing we said is you have to create value. And there are three types of values: time value, space value, and form value. Time, space, and form. Okay. So form is you change the form. So in this case, batter is input, dosa is output. But you can change it in many forms. Okay. So dosa can be made innovatively. Second, uh, time. When are you selling it? Third, where are you selling it? So what did Ram do? He was in a place where there were many competitors around him. And what he did quickly was he moved out of that place, or he put somebody there, and he realized there's one place in Hyderabad city called High Tech City, where there are 20 years back, there was no street food available, right? So he immediately recceed and he found that this is the place to set up my business. Space value, identifying where to sell it. Okay, what to make, form, where to sell it, and then when to sell it, where and when. So Ram was very clever. What did he do? First, he found high tech city, no street food available. Second, he found, yeah, just 1 minute. Huh? Just give me 1 second. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. So what he did was he placed himself in high tech city, and then he realized that daytime there are restaurants and hotels, but at night there is no food available. And high tech city does offshoring, which is we work at US timings, which is at night. There's a whole shifts, two shifts which work at night, offshoring US timings. So then what happened? There's no food. Even the traditional restaurants and hotels are closed. So Ram was very smart. What did he say? Let me choose a time when nobody is around. So his business is between 2 and 5 in the morning. 2 o'clock at night, he opens the bandi. 5 o'clock, 3 hours a day he works. He closes down at 5. He's a monopolist from 2 to 5. He's a total monopolist. Nobody around. I know people who don't work in night shift. They actually come home and sleep nicely. And there are people who actually wake up and say, get up, 2 o'clock, Ramki Bandi, we have to go and eat dosa there. They wake up to go and eat his dosa at 2 o'clock night. Forget about working night shift. So what am I trying to say? You have to be smart enough to know what, and then innovative. Again, you can be innovative in any product. So thanks for reminding me. Hari Kalyan. Kalyani, sorry. Thank you, Kalyani, for reminding me so I could share this example as well. Lots of stories to take back home today. Any more questions which are there?
Madam, I have received two questions from the
Yeah, tell
participants.
me, sir.
One is, what is the most significant barrier to entry for a new entrepreneurship in India? That is one question. Second question is, can you share one example of a successful entrepreneur that has created a positive social impact in India?
Okay. Barrier to entry and social. Okay. I hope I can remember, but let me just see. Deshmukh Foundation, they have lots of social enterprise, very interesting ones. Wait 1 second. Yeah, let me close the chat. Okay. The first question, let us see. You said barriers to entry. Many barriers to entry are there. Let me start off with one barrier. A startup will always have shortage of money. You have to invest in business. So where do you get the money? No startup has money. They have to. So today, luckily, government is giving grants and all. Parents are usually telling them, what, you studied engineering, now go and do job. You got a job in Microsoft. Why are you sitting here? Somebody go on all this startup, startup, don't do all this. First barrier, parental approval is not there most of the time, right? And second is a lack of money. So if I go to n number of colleges. My passion is to go and change this mindset. So I go to n, out of a college of 5,000 students, if I can get 5 guys out as entrepreneurs, I'll be happy. It's not easy for them. They don't have the money. All the friends who help them, at some point they will go away. Their parents also will not support them. So how do they start? It's not easy at all. Some incubator will take them, but 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4, then they get tired and they say, okay, I'm going off to a job. This happens everywhere. So it's very difficult to hold them until they get some fund from government or some loan or somewhere or somebody, or they are that much fire in the belly. They should have 4 or 5 years struggle before they can even think of getting money from somewhere. So money is the first. Second is parental thing, money. Third thing is the barrier is that they don't have, if they are youngsters, they don't have the experience. So where should they get this? They have to learn with failure. So failures will come. And once the failure comes, they get disappointed. So that's why we keep telling them failure is part of the journey. It is teaching you what not to do and what to do. So eliminate that. That much sustenance and perseverance they should have. So that is the problem. Then if they are making a product which is similar to already something existing, competition will be huge. You cannot survive in front of a big player. If XYZ is a big player, let's say I'm coming up with a special cement, okay, and I'm saying this is a cement which is like this, I cannot compete with a Andhra cement, Rasi cement, Birla cement. Can I compete? No. My cement has to be very, very innovative, which these three are not having, and saying this cement is like this, it does this. Then it becomes very innovative, and then only I can come. So the only tool entrepreneur has in his hand, and why people want him, and why big companies also want entrepreneurs, startups, they want to take them into their company, is because they come with innovative ideas, and that innovation only they bring. That is the only plus point. So that innovation is required, that mindset is required, that energy is required, and that's why, not because of anything, but for them it's a barrier until somebody helps them. Coming to social, yeah. So you have what is, so many companies are there. If you are asking me, there is some company not in India, but which is doing some way of recycling plastics. There are so many companies today who are doing plastic alternatives after plastic ban has taken place. I would think it's a social cause. Then there are also companies which do, there are companies which are specially only employing challenged people, because they can do work very well. Okay. And it's only that people don't employ them, but they are doing it. There's one company in Hyderabad run by Shrikant Bullan. His name is Shrikant Bullan. He's a visually challenged guy, and Indian IITs did not take him. So because they said that without eyesight, you cannot do experiments in the lab. So none of the IITs took him, though he passed. Then MIT or some MIT, I think, took him, or one of the US took him, and he really did very well. Today, you go and see his TED Talks. He's from Hyderabad. He has started, it's a social company. He takes mostly challenged people in his company. What they make is alternatives again to plastic, like cutlery, which is eco-friendly cutlery and all this. Then there are companies which are making products for the government, for healthcare. They are making products which are less in price, can be accessed by people across. You don't have to, pay huge amounts. For example, there's a girl in IIT Hyderabad who is making one bed cum chair, which is meant for delivering babies. So when you go to villages and all, it's they have this baby at home and the conditions are not good. So if you can make like a dental chair, no, like one chair cum bed, where the woman can deliver the baby with lot of safety and sanitization security, and the delivery can be done simply. That chair itself, you can take it to any village and you can use it for delivering a baby. From IIT Hyderabad, she has made. So if I think of it, I'm in the midst of it. I see it every day. Cleaning of lakes, some people are working on plastic recycling, healthcare products people are making. Then they are helping the government For example, there's one startup which is doing crime detection. They have algorithms where some features happen somewhere, then 70 to 80% it's a crime kind of location. They can from those red flags, those it picks up cameras. From the cameras, if they some kind of pictures are drawn out, then it gives a feeling that there is a way of crime happening in that place. So that crime detection, government is looking at if they may want to buy it to reduce crime detection or catch crime on time. So like that, there are many traffic and managing traffic. There are startups which are trying to do some things, call them social, call them government, whatever. Okay. So I hope I've answered your questions. Any other questions which have come up? What activity can be done in to encourage these two colleges to become entrepreneurs? Okay. First thing is, if this is, this is a faculty. So Sandhya Rani madam. Yeah. So the first thing is, see, we should not discourage them. See, what we do is we make them think in a straight line method. And that's a mistake that all of us do as faculty members. We should not make them think straight line. Let them think how the way they think. Don't restrain their thinking. As they keep growing older and older, we want them to think this is the only way out. Okay. So today, if that was the case, in Hyderabad, we have a startup called Skyroot. They are into rocket launching. Okay. Did you hear before this any private sector in rocket launching, in rockets? Skyroot is from Hyderabad. He was our previous Chief Minister of Industries, most passionate startup, Skyroot, poster boy he was. So how did it come about? It's because straight line thinking should not be allowed always. Let them think differently. As teachers, at least that. Second, the college has to, today is not only for teaching so that they get jobs. That's one thing. So we should allow them to tinker with things for which we need to have a good incubator. And that's why government is giving money to colleges under different schemes to set up incubators and let them work in the incubator. So I think if they are working in the incubator so many hours, at least those credits and all should be, and they cannot sit in classes. There are lots of people who are like that. Most of the entrepreneurs, and especially those Steve Jobs types, are a bit different. They think differently. We might take them as what even somebody like Thomas Alva Edison, or who was that other physicist? People used to say they're crack, but they are geniuses, right? So they have a different mindset, and we have to allow them to do all that. So once they do that, and you can give them the due credit, I think that would help. And the last and important thing is, which I keep telling every college to do, we always advertise. We always, as colleges, will highlight on 90% placement, 100% placement. Did we even ever advertise two startups from our college? We don't do that. Even if you have 2 to 3 startups from your college, be very, very, very proud of them, because those 3 or 2 startups from your college are going to create more value for the country than 95% placements, because they are the ones who are going to create value. So please encourage and highlight those startup stories in the college, that students should look forward to them. Why did Harvard and Stanford become famous? Because they had somebody from their college who started Google. Today, can you survive without Google? Tell me. That's a startup. How many times in a day do we use Google? Do we pay single paisa for it? No, we don't. See the model. Somebody else pays. Advertisers pay. But do we pay? No. Isn't it value? I remember when I was doing my PhD many years back, we used to slog in libraries. How many months it used to take just going to libraries? Today, do you have to do all that? No, it's value. How much data, how much information? Today you have Chat GPT. How is it available? Somebody genius there has made this. And today, Harvard and Stanford, Harvard doesn't say about the placement. It says Larry Page, Google started from here, and some Stanford, I think. And this guy, Google says Facebook started from here. So encourage those guys in your college when they come out as startups, and those stories should go forward to the other students who would say, I want to be like him. Okay, so that's one way of encouraging. Is any internship program for degree students about? Yeah, there is. There is in Nalsar, I think they have started internship. First year internship you should do with a company, or second year internship you should do with a startup. So one year internship startup, 1 year internship with a company. That's the formula they are following. So I thought I like that formula. So let these guys who are interested go and do internship with a startup. Then they will know what the struggle is to start any business. Whichever looks big today started like that only. So they have to understand that. What are some survival strategies you would recommend for startups facing tough competition or financial challenges? So survival is, we have many methods which we keep sharing with startups. When you don't have money, how can you get people? So just telling you some survival strategies. Suppose you start a startup and you want somebody on as a working for you as an employee. You can never compete with another company because you cannot give him more than some amount. You're a startup, you don't have money, and he's getting a job in Microsoft. Why will he come to you? So first thing is your passion you have to share. And there's another guy who's passionate, but he says, no, I can't work, I need monthly salary. And rightfully so, he has a family, he needs money. Naturally, everybody needs money to live their life. So the way out, we say the survival strategies are, one is pay some amount, give some equity. You have to give some stake in the company. Then you can get people. Okay. Then go for grants. Initial stage, especially biosciences, the experimentation time is long. So like you're coming out with a new molecule, then you have to do so many trials, animal trials, human trials, this, that. Except COVID, all the other every vaccine went through 10 years of trials. So 10 years, how will they survive? So that is where government departments are there. Government Department of Biotechnology, BRAOU, they will fund you. For proof of concept, there's a fund. For commercial prototyping, there's a fund, Startup India Seed Fund. For commercializing, there's a fund. So you have to show that you're doing some good work and apply for these grants. Grants are basically non-returnable, but that is how you can survive. Or if your product is really so nice and you have really made a good thing, you can go for private funds, angel funds, VC funds, and then you can go for bank loans. Banks also give some schemes are there to give for startups. So you can try all that things. But somebody asked me a very interesting question and I would like to answer that. I think it is Sarita only, Dr. Sarita. What is your aha moment, she asked. Thank you for asking me this. I love sharing this because it's my story. My aha moment came after what? A good 20-24 years handling training, teaching, corporate training, student executive training, all training, and realizing after 20-24 years that students came in with lovely ideas. First semester, second semester, wonderful, wonderful. I will do this, I will do that. And then what happened was that by the third or fourth semester, they say, we'll come back, we'll come back. We got placed here, we got placed there. And finally, they go away. So then I am following up with them and they come for the alumni meet. And I say, what happened? The first thing when they're going out of college, I get a box of sweets. I got placed here. I said, what happened to your idea? We'll come back, madam. I right now got placed. And then I meet them in the alumni meet first year. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we have that idea. Second year, we got married. Now I have responsibilities. Then third year, fourth, then we have babies. Yes. So I keep getting boxes of sweets, but no startup coming out. And then what is this? And such wonderful ideas and so good energy, and nothing's happening. What is this use? Every day I go and teach and I train and I do this and I do that. We did government projects, we did everything, but nothing happening. So why is it not happening? There's no support for them, no hand holding, no mentorship, nothing. In 2014, 31st December, I said, no, I need to, this is my aha moment. I need to give this support. So I started in 2015 with this aha moment in mind, that if I can give some support to the students, student startups and others, of course, then maybe we have more startups coming out of campus. Lucky for me that the government also at the same time was encouraging startups, so it collaborated with them and the grants started coming. So today a lot of students are taking up because grants are there. Yeah, somebody was asking something. Back in early 2000, Curry Point's business idea to capture the migrant needs. Yes, absolutely. That was it was a startup actually in a way traditional, but these Curry Points came up because what did they realize? Actually, you know why Curry Points came up? Because most of the women were in IT jobs. So what happened was, that was the aha moment for these Curry Point guys. These women don't have time. I mean, I'm being a bit, what do you call, gender inequality I'm showing. I'm saying women, but that's the reality, right? End of the day, you go back home and you have to cook for your family, right? So what happened was, these ladies were working in IT jobs, 12-hour job, morning 9 o'clock to evening 9, 8 or 9, 11 to 12 hours. Coming back home, there's no time to cook. So the best thing is buy a rice cooker. Anyway, rice will get cooked in the rice cooker. Pick up these curries. That's how Curry Point came up. And today you have Swiggies and Zomatos of the world. It's a social need. That's nuclear
Thank you, ma'am.
family. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. That's wonderful giving the answers. Ma'am, I have one question, ma'am.
Yeah.
Government is also supporting startups and entrepreneurs so much, but many people are not aware of government initiatives and their support system. Will you please give some ideas for the budding entrepreneurs?
Yeah, sure. So if you're starting a business, okay, you have to first register it, okay, and then immediately after registration, there is a portal, Startup India portal. Okay, there it's by the Department for the Promotion of Department for the, it's called DPIIT, okay, DPIIT. Uh, Under that portal, you have to apply within 2 years for a, if you're in the idea stage. Bring out a very, anything innovative, it has to be innovative. So come up with a written thing. This is the company registered. These are the founders, and this is the idea which we are coming out with, or we have started doing the business. Just we started some innovative thing. It has to be innovative. If it is not innovative, they will not. So when I say innovative, obviously a bit of tech has to be used. Okay. So once you apply, and you will get the DIPP registration. That means you are registered as a as a startup in India. That's a gazette of startups, right? So you have to register your company and then get the DIPP registration also. That's an additional one. The same chartered accountant who's doing that, or company secretary who is registering your company, will get you DIPP registration also, provided what you're doing is slightly innovative. Okay. Once you get that, then after that, as your product keeps going, the more you show that today there are many guys who are applying for all this. They know about it and they're applying for these grants. So you can apply for the grant, like we say that, what is it called? There are stages, idea stage grant, proof of concept. It's called POC grant. So proof of concept. You're trying to prove your concept that it will work so that you can get a grant for that. Once your POC is over, then you will get prototyping grant to make this into a product. That's a grant. Then once your prototype is over, then you will get a grant for commercializing it, to going to market, commercialization. So almost up to 50 lakhs, starting from, starting is I think some 10, some 7-8 lakhs, right up to 50 lakhs you can get grants. Government is giving all these grants. Okay, so students can utilize these grants. They have to have a genuine, original and innovative idea which they want to take forward, and they should be serious about it. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for so patiently answering all the questions. Wonderful, ma'am.
Absolutely. Thank you. I'm just seeing any others. Share some inputs. 1 minute. What is this?
And
I want to share some
any
input.
questions.
1 minute, madam. Permit me. Who is this? Vinay Kumar wants to share. Vinay, are you there? You can write your question. Otherwise, in case you're a student, maybe you might be muted, so you can write your question. Okay. Okay. So let me just take quick 10 minutes. Is it okay? And finish off my presentation?
Yeah, try to 5 minutes, madam.
Yeah, 5 minutes. We'll stop then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So what are the tips for streamlining your business startup process? First, make sure what you're doing, you want to do that. Okay. And not like just because somebody else is doing. So passion, decide the kind of business you want to do. One thing in business which will surprise you is that it starts with a lot of research. Without research, you cannot do. The first thing we ask any startup who comes to us, and not just us, anybody, is first is called as market research. You have to do a lot of research on the idea, on the competition, on the market, on the competitors, on the industry, on the technology, on the global trends, on the local trends. After doing all this research only, you have to consolidate the idea. That means after doing this research, you will say, is this a good idea? Are there too many players already? Are we too early? Are we too late? If we are too early, then people won't understand our idea. It will take 5-10 years. If we are too late, already so many players are there. So research the idea well, write a business plan, then choose a structure. What structure suits you best? That means sole proprietor up to partnership company and private limited. You can decide what you want to be. Then assemble a team. Now I want to tell you, team is very important. I see a lot of businesses there, but they cannot take it forward because they don't have a good team. Team is most relevant. Idea is not so important. Idea is only 10%, 90% is team. If team cannot take it forward, the best of the ideas will flop. But if the team is good, even a simple, I would say even a stupid idea will become famous. Team has to be good. Okay. So handle that team very well and do all the regulatory paperwork that is required. Okay. Just 1 second. So the 5 essential: idea, team, business model, funding, timing. So I'm telling you this timing very important when you come into the market. Amazon, they were very smart people. They didn't come in the market early. Not that they were not there. They were there in many countries they were there, but they didn't come to India. Why didn't they come to India? Because at that point of time, Indians did not know how to do e-commerce. And internet penetration was very poor. So they said, no, this is not the right time to go to India. Wait. We don't want to go to India and educate people. You can go on internet and do shopping. Internet is not there in many places those days. Internet was slow. Bandwidth was low. So they said, wait. And Flipkart came and they did all this dirty job of educating the people. And then came Amazon and took away a lot of their market. So Flipkart, though is a competitor, Flipkart helped Amazon come at the right time. Amazon came at the right time when people were already there. Internet penetration was great. Timing is very important. Okay. When you enter the market is important. Team is very important. Idea, actually, even simple ideas can become famous. So choose the right need, that aha moment, choose the right need. Target the right audience before you start. Understand who is the buyer, size of users, size of market, size of industry, size of global market, size of competition. Dissect your idea into several pieces. Where will I get the input from? Who is going to partner? How can I partner? How big is this market? understand the industry and all the facets of the industry. Then turn your idea into a killer idea. For shortage of time, I'm not going to each. Only one thing. Just see this second one, car screen. If you remember, there used to be one paper cardboard, simple, thin cardboard kind of thing. We used to fold it up and keep in the car. Whenever we park, we used to open it and put it on the screen and then go so that the sunlight doesn't come in and heat the seat and the wheel. You know, this simple idea, such a simple idea. What was it? Paper cut to the size of the screen of the car. This simple idea of a flap to cover the screen sold for a couple of million dollars to a couple of $1 billion to a car company in Detroit. So all these ideas are simple, but the way you take it forward is important. Business model. Don't go for a model where what you like, you do. Earlier, you had an idea, you developed it, you put it in the market, and then you went into valley of death. Why valley of death? People will buy, they may not buy, they may like, they may not like. Don't do that. Today model, first go to people, ask them, what are they using right now? What is the alternative? What's the problem in the alternative? Would they like to buy something with this? At what price will they like to buy? Once you get validation from the market, only then start the company. Make sure you have a USP, then monetize the model. Make the business plan, great team, go to market, try for funding, grants, funds, some point, good entry strategy, then get set, go, and then only party. Never party before that. And that's it. Startups fail because wrong timing, not proper team. Idea, only few fail because the idea was not good. Business model was not good, 24% failed. Funding they didn't get, only 14% failed. 42% failed because timing is not right. So we'll end with this. You can just see it. Pick a good founder, launch fast, let your idea evolve, make few customers love you, retain your customer, don't spend too much as a founder, don't get distracted, don't give up, persevere, don't die in your business. To end it, there were this group of 3 guys. They started a company. They were into making games because they were techie guys. They made 51 games, all flopped. All 51 games flopped. They went mad. They went depressed. They went broke. They didn't know what to do. In that depression, just to time pass, they made one more game. And that one more game became famous, and that was Angry Birds. So, perseverance is the name of the game. And I would end it with this. Yes.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
And we all of us know entrepreneurship is a spirit, risk-taking,
yes,
creativity, and so many things. Yeah. Thank you, madam, for the wonderful talk. Now I request Dr. Sarita, who is our member coordinator of this IIC BRAOU. Now I request Dr. Sarita to propose formal vote of thanks. Dr. Sarita, over to Sarita.
Before Dr. Sarita gives a vote of thanks, I just wanted to add, I was grumbling actually with my colleagues that 2 hours, what am I going to speak? I just don't know, 2 hours, how will I speak for 2 hours? I will finish off in 1 hour only. I've bypassed 2 hours. So go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. Dr. Sarita.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. You're on mute.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. I, Dr. D. Sarita, Assistant Professor of Commerce and Management at Government Degree College for Women, Begumpet, and a member of the Institution Innovation Council, have the honor of proposing the vote of thanks to today's enlightening event. On behalf of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University, the Faculty of Commerce and Business Management, the Institution Innovation Council, and on my own behalf, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to all who have contributed to the success of this lecture on the journey of an entrepreneur, organized on the occasion of World Entrepreneurs Day. First and foremost, I express my heartfelt thanks to our distinguished resource person, Dr. Nandita Sethi, founder and managing director of the Entrepreneur Zone, Secunderabad. Madam, your insightful and inspiring lecture has provided us with valuable insights into the entrepreneurial journey and has undoubtedly motivated us all. Your speech highlighted the journey of successful Steve Jobs, Colonel Sanders of KFC, Elon Musk, Uber, Nirma washing powder, and others, which emphasize that business must constantly innovate to stay relevant in the market. You also stress entrepreneurship is not just about making money, but about bringing new ideas and innovation into the world. Your insights into why people start business, who can become entrepreneurs, and the passion required to succeed have deeply resonated with us. You spoke about the importance of perseverance, risk tolerance, and learning to mitigate risk and accept failures. The importance of aha moments in entrepreneur life has really made us so uh, thinking, such as, and you have also shared the successful mantras, having self belief, taking risk, providing value. And to become a successful entrepreneur, you should become being a differentiator. You should have your USP and you should have your clear business model, knowing what you are after and never give up. Lastly, the perseverance is the end of the game. Thank you, madam. Thank you for your so inspirational talk, and will serve this talk will serve as guiding principles as aspiring entrepreneurs. I would also like to extend my sincere gratitude to Professor I. Anand Pawar, Dean of the Faculty of Commerce and Business Management and President of the Institution Innovation Council, and Professor Y.S. Kiran Mai, Head of the Department of Business Management and Member Secretary of the Institution Innovation Council. And I also extend my thanks to Dr. Rabinder Solomon sir, Head of the Faculty of Commerce, for identifying the best resource person for today's program. Your all leadership and unwavering support have been instrumental in making this event a grand success. I extend my heartfelt thanks to our esteemed Vice Chancellor sir, registrars, and head departments for their continuous encouragement and support in fostering a culture of learning and innovation at our institution. A special thanks to technical team for their seamless support and ensuring that all technical aspects of this event were executed flawlessly. I would also express my thanks to and appreciations to all the faculty members, staff, and the students who have participated today. Your enthusiasm, engagement, and commitment to the continuous learning are what make events like this so meaningful. Finally, I extend my appreciation to the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Education Innovation Cell, and AICTE for their ongoing support and encouragement in promoting innovative educational initiatives. Thank you all once again for your contributions to making this event a resounding success. Let us continue to support together, fostering innovation and realizing the vision of a progressive education system. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Nandita ji. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you all so much. Yeah. Thank you.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Let us wind up the program. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all very, very much.